Hello, this is Spartan Commander, and this is the 13th Rome Total War Brotherhood game that I've put onto YouTube. The team I'm in today consists of 4 Brotherhood members. That is Brotherhood member Mystique, who has bought SBQR faction, obviously Roman faction there. The other one is Sam, who has bought SBQR faction. Uther's Dragon, who has bought the Julii faction. And myself, Spartan Commander, who has bought the Scipii faction. So that's the 4 Brotherhood members in my team, and you'll find that there are 8 Brotherhood members in this battle today. And so the combined years on Rome Total War for all of us is probably getting on for 50, maybe even more than 50 years of Rome Total War experience on one battlefield. Should be a great battle. And here is the other Brotherhood team, which consists of Crimson Overlord, also known as Pain, who has bought Macedon faction. We have TR, who has bought the Brutii faction. Cal, who has bought the Brutii faction, and Killer B, who has bought Carthage. The Carthage spearmen are great, solid spearmen, and they probably are on a par with the Greek city Spartans if used correctly. And if you look at the great upgrades that Killer B's put on his spearmen here, they are going to be really solid to fight. This should be a great battle with 8 Brotherhood members in it. At this stage of the battle, you can see my infantry hiding in the woods. If you notice, well, when they're hiding, they're actually knelt down so they can't be seen. There's only one unit in the army that can't hide, and that's the general unit. That's the unit with the actual general in. And here you can see that my general is an urban cohort unit, and he can't stand. And there's an actual close-up of the Roman general. At this stage of the battle, you can see that I'm actually moving my army out to the right flank in a right flanking action here to try and turn the enemy. And as you can see, Cal is moving his infantry back as well to try and counter where my infantry are moving to. And also at the back there are Macedon spearmen and cavalry and archers, and as I'm moving, I'm suffering quite a few casualties from Macedon's Cretan archers. As you can see at this stage of the battle, with me moving out so far right, it has caused the entire other team's armies to move as well, because it's kind of disrupted their formation, and they're all trying to move to face me at the moment.
They're attacking us!
At this stage of the battle, with both teams' armies in very close proximity, there's a lot of skirmishing going on here, as you can see. A lot of cav hits going in, very quick cav hits, hit and pull out quickly, and a lot of infantry units as well being charged in. As you can see there, Julii just sent his cavalry in on a cavalry hit there, which has routed some of the enemy Brutii's infantry there. And Carthage ran forward with its spearmen, as well as TR's infantry ran forward as well to support the units that were being attacked at the time. As you can see, there's a lot of movement and skirmishing going on there at the moment, and with no clear advantage to either team at this time. As you can see, archers are actually targeting Mystique's cavalry here, and there's a routed unit that's actually facing the wrong way there as well. Of course, if units get hit in the rear by arrows, it really does cause major damage to them. At this stage, as you can see, the enemy Brutii and Carthage, they're holding well in the centre, and it's kind of there's a little bit of skirmishing going on now, but I think people are just taking stock of each other's position and units just to see where the next attack's going to go in. As you can see, Sam Crow's units here are attacking Carthage there, and there's my army there, and Macedon facing me out on the right flank. In the centre and the left, As you see, the Carthage spearmen are doing a very good job there at holding, because you very rarely attack spearmen head on here unless you're intending just to hold them, where you can get infantry around the flank. Over on our left you can see that there are some enemy cavalry over there waiting to attack, and over on our right Macedon has moved down a bit, and I've shadowed Macedon there. What I'm hoping to do is to get close to Macedon and maybe shower as many of his units with pilers as I can, as Macedon's got 120 men in each unit, but they are extremely susceptible to piler damage. So if I can actually get close enough to shower his main battle line with pilers, I could cause major damage to Macedon here. And as you see, he's moving back as I'm moving forward because he knows what I'm trying to do here. Unfortunately though, every time I'm moving, those Cretan archers are causing me massive casualties, so they're quite a good covering force, those archers. Over on the over in the centre and the left, there's lots of mini skirmishing going on there, but I can see Carthage is still holding well, backed up by Brutii teammates there. And over on our left, Mystique is holding very well. There is some enemy cavalry hiding in the woods to our left there, ready to strike when the opportunity is right. At this stage of the battle, over on our left and centre, there appears to be no clear winners of those particular battles at the moment. And over on our right here, you can see that my arm is still facing Macedon. And if you notice that Crim has put some archers, Cretan archers, out to my right, firing arrows into my unit. Of course, urban cohorts getting shot in the side or the rear really suffer big casualties from archers, which is what he's doing. So I'm turning my infantry to face them, because head on the archers do less damage, while moving my cavalry out to pretend to attack those archers to make them move. If you notice that Crim was anticipating this and has moved his cavalry and his spearmen up there, hoping that I would press home the attack with my cavalry, so that he would be able to attack them with both his cavalry and his spearmen. But I've actually pulled my cavalry back now. Over on the left and centre, as you can see, there's still mini skirmishing going on. At this stage of the battle, there is so much going on all over the battlefield, it's difficult to be able to keep up with it all. There's mini attacks going in here, infantry attacks, cavalry attacks. It's great skirmishing tactics used by all Brotherhood members on both teams. And as you can see over on our far right flank, where I'm situated, Macedon is just trying to do an attack on my forward open order piler units. I think Crim's thinking there is that if he hits my open order piler units with his cavalry and infantry, it could cause a mass rout. But my forward units are managing to hold, and I've put all the rest of my units on auto fire, so they're actually firing pilers, loads and loads of pilers, into Crim's army at the moment, and he's not managing to break my my forward units that I've actually put into testudo now to give them protection against the cavalry and the spear hits. And my guys are still throwing their pilers and causing a heck of a lot of casualties to Crim's units at this stage. And as he's not making any forward motion into my army, he's pulling his units back now to try and save himself from more casualties. As you see, he's moved his archers out to the right again, which will be trying to fire into the flank of my army if they can. Moving over to the centre and left there, as you can see, there's a lot of action going in there. I see Brutii's cavalry's just charged into Sam Crow's infantry there in an attempt to try and break some of Sam Crow's infantry units, but by the looks of it, Sam's infantry are holding at the moment. And on our far left, I believe TR has got some cavalry, Brutii cavalry round to the left, in the hope of being able to smash into Mystique's fighting infantry and maybe rout some units there. As I say, there's so much going on at the moment all over the battlefield, it's difficult to try and keep up with what's going on. Brotherhood members are attacking in all directions. Here you can see my I've spotted an enemy unit that I'd like to hit with my cavalry. And as you can see, I'm charging all the way from the right flank with my cavalry, all the way over to the left flank, where I've spotted a Carthage spear unit that I would like to try and hit in the flank, which might start causing some routes. As you see, my cavalry are actually hitting that Carthage unit in the flank there. And although my cavalry is not doing a lot of damage there, what it seems to have done is acted as a catalyst, and it seems to have sparked my teammates on the left flank into attack mode. And as you see now, they're throwing everything into an attack onto TR's infantry there on our left. I'm taking my cavalry on through past that Carthage unit that I hit, and now I'm going to charge into the rear of TR's infantry there to help my allies who are attacking from the other direction, in kind of like a hammer and anvil attack there. And we have routed now the enemy team on our left, so our left flank now is pretty well secure there. As you can see, Cal's charging his cavalry in to try and help, but their left flank is pretty well beaten at this stage. Over on our right flank there, Macedon are moving down to try and help over on their flank there, and I'm going to shadow them with my infantry just to keep an eye on what they're doing. And as you can see, our right is holding quite well, and as we've beaten them on the left, we'll be bringing reinforcements up from the left now to try and roll them up from left to right. Now, as you see, Macedon here are moving towards my infantry at the moment. He's moving his cavalry out to my right flank and moving his infantry towards my infantry here. And as you see, over on the left, our allies, our victorious allies, are moving up from the left to the right to help us out here. And as you see, Crimson Overlord is charging his spearmen into my infantry. He's moved his cavalry up to my right, where he's going to, my guess is, charge in to try and rout some of my units. There he goes, he's going to charge in now to try and rout my units. And Cal, Brutite, has also charged his cavalry in as well. Now I think gold infantry at this stage would probably rout under such a hit, but because I've got good upgrades on my infantry, I'm managing to hold there until my allies can come up and smash into Macedon's army and start routing them. So that was great teamwork there, I think, by my teammates getting there just in the nick of time.
Men know their doom approaches.
It's a great play here by Brotherhood members on both teams.
There's only frightened rabbits running from
At this late stage of the battle, you can see what type of wide battlefront we're fighting on. As you can see, the dead mark how wide the battlefield actually was, that the intense fighting was done on here. And it was an absolute great battle. There were so many great moves and so many great tactics shown by these Brotherhood members. As I say, we've got over 50 years of Rome Total War experience between these 8 players, and it really showed in this battle. I hope you enjoyed watching it, and I'd just like to say really well done to the Brotherhood members in this game, who showed great skill and tactics and really showed their experience. This is Spartan Commander saying I hope you enjoyed the battle, and I look forward to seeing you soon.